that 75 to 90%. So here's the fun part. When we look at this idea of shopping and hiking, that's going to be in an energy system that is not efficient. What's going on, everybody? Hey, it's Oper. We're coming back at you with another video. Of course, we got the Ultimate Warrior. We got Brutus in the house. The gang's all here. The topic for this video is epic. I have wanted to discuss this topic for a long time, and it is why hiking and shopping,
let's go shopping,
is so exhausting. This is true, especially for those of you that work out fairly regularly. However, for those of you that shop and hike often, and the hiking and the shopping are just two examples, I'll explain it later on. But there is a specific reason why people that are usually physically fit have an extremely difficult time with these submaximal efforts, such as hiking and shopping, anything of that nature. So the first thing we need to discuss
Are you stupid or something?
Are the energy systems. Yes, are. We will discuss the energy systems. I will put a chart also right here in a few seconds to help further illustrate. They will discuss each energy system individually. I like to draw the energy system out if we were to do 10 minutes of hard work on a row machine or an aerodyne, something like that. So here we go. So again, the independent variable will be time. And up here is going to be our force output. If we were to sit down on a row machine or an aerodyne bike and someone said, I need you to give me 100% maximal effort for 10 minutes straight. And the person says 3, 2, 1, go. And we start to pedal or we start to row. The rate of our force output would generally look like this chart that I'm about to draw. And although the force outputs could be different for the individual based off if it's Michael Phelps or Joan Benoit or anyone that has any sort of pre-training or level of fitness, the graph is usually going to look the same, but it's just going to be different values. So we would start off, the first 10 to 20 to 30 seconds would be really strong up here. We would operate at a certain amount of force output, and then it would kind of diminish off after about 30 to 60 seconds, and then we would be in through here for about 3 minutes, and then we would taper off down out to here, just like that. And then we'll call this point right here the 3-minute mark. This is about 30 seconds. And here we have the ATP system, ATP plus PC. So we have ATP plus phosphocreatine system. Then we have your non-oxidative. The non-oxidative system usually lasts about 3 minutes. Think about an 800-meter dash, and that's a great example of the non-oxidative system in through here, where the waste product is going to be the lactic acid, where we need to utilize what's called the Cori cycle, Coricycle, where the Cori cycle will take waste products into the bloodstream, take it back to the liver, regenerate it into glucose so that way we can utilize that, ultimately to regenerate what's called ATP. ATP is the metaphorical coin that we need to perform our movements. After about 3 minutes, everything starts to become oxidative. So where we start to utilize oxygen, when we get into this state of more of an aerobic state or oxidative state, it's much easier to acquire that ATP because the demand usually isn't as high. The first 30 seconds or so, we're at about 90 to 100% of our maximum effort. Here we're about 75 to that 90%. And then from here on down is less than or equal to that 75%. So these three energy cycles are typically what we utilize for any sort of athletic performance or any sort of sport. If we do a 10K race like the Boulder Boulder, we would typically be over here in the oxidative state, and the waste product would be the CO2. Some of it would be the lactic acid and utilized especially towards the very end of the race. The 100-meter dash would be the ATP system plus a little bit of the PC system. The 200-meter dash would of course be the ATP system plus the PC system, more of the PC system actually. Once we move into that 30-second range between the 3 minutes, then we're utilizing that Corey cycle. That's 75 to 90%. So here's the fun part. When we look at this idea of shopping and hiking,
Pick him up and set him down, pile!
that's going to be in an energy system that is not efficient to our bodies, provided that we have trained for something else. If someone is a marathon runner, or if someone weightlifts regularly, or if someone runs the 800-meter dash, all three of those activities fall somewhere in through here, into one of these three energy systems. However, this is what drives me crazy. The hiking and or the shopping, and we can even say brisk walking, the energy system would be kind of in through here, where we're at 30 to 40% of our maximum exertion. And back to the idea of anyone that trains regularly, if we weightlift or if we train for the 800-meter dash, or even if we are a marathon runner, the amount of time that we actually spend at 30 to 40% of our maximum exertion is minimal. And therefore, if the objective is to regenerate ATP to give us energy, and we operate at 30 to 40% of our maximum exertion, and we never do that, that is exhausting on our body. If that energy system is not proficient and it doesn't recover well, it doesn't give us that ATP, we will struggle significantly with that activity. So if we go shopping and we're carrying these bags and we walk up the stairs and...
Aren't you gonna help me, or are you just gonna sit there and do nothing? Terrific.
I breathe in.
we walk to the food court and get that Cinnabon.
Best case scenario, I'm managing a Cinnabon in Omaha.
Or that pizza from Pizza Villa. That's going to be exhausting. If we walk up Chautauqua Park, or if we hike and we're at that 30 to 40%, but we don't really run, or we're not lifting at 90%, and our body is trying to regenerate that ATP to meet that demand of that activity, and we don't actually train that often at 30, 40%, that's going to exhaust the living hell out of us. So that is why hiking and shopping, or any sort of sub-maximal activity, can be exhausting for someone who is physically fit, so to speak. We could be a world champion in the 800-meter dash, or a world champion boxer. And if you put any individual that has a high level of fitness into an energy system that is not proficient to their body, it's going to be exhausting. And I can't stand to hike. I can't stand shopping. It is terrible. It is exhausting. So there's that. So for those of you that have any questions, again, you know the drill. Send me an email, like this video, subscribe for more content. I'm tired of holding that marker, and we will see you all next time.